Okay, you're the only Hebrew Israelite that talk so much and have the teachings of Samaria in their teachings. When you talk about Samaria, are you giving the credit to the Sumerians for creating the Hebrews' God?
Absolutely not. You see, what I did was ingenious when I introduced Sumeria into the dialogue of civilization. We were told as Hebrews by our brothers in the Kemetic conscious community that we don't have a faith of our own, that our faith is based on Afrocentric thought, culture, and heritage, namely that which is found in Kemet. I beg to differ. I know for a fact that Kemet did not introduce what is called the signs of civilization. I know in fact that the signs of civilization belong to another African civilization known as Sumer, the Blackheads. And the earliest Hebrew ancestors are these Blackheads. The very term Sumerian, or its literal Akkadian context, is Sumerian. And it is a description of the earliest Semitic tribes that inherited that region.
So the Sumerians,
right?
They were Hebrew?
No.
Oh, okay.
The term Hebrew doesn't come until later with Father Abraham.
They were Israelites?
But no, not even Israelites.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the Israelites descend and have a lineage with those in Sumer.
Oh, okay. I see what
the original Sumerians, which is actually Shumerians, are a Semitic stock of people called historically Ubaid, which represents the earliest Semitic tribes to inhabit and live in that region. Hebrews, as a name, as a title, as a description of a man and later of a people, the name comes later, but we are still descendant of them. So if I was to give you a fair and honest comparison, I would say that Afrocentric scholars teach that the high culture of Kemet comes deep from the interior of Africa. Now, when it started deep in the interior of Africa, there was actually no land recognized as Kemet. Therefore, there was also no people recognized as Kemet. But as they began to come up and grow, and their ideas began to progress and evolve, and they settled in the land that they called Kemet, and then they named themselves after the land that they called Kemet, it is there that you see this name Kemet there. But their earliest origins, they don't even have that name, correct? So it's the same with the Hebrews. Our earliest origins, our earliest ancestors are described as Sumerians. The Bible is explicit, or the Old Testament is explicit when it says that Abraham came from this region that we are today calling Sumer. So the very first Hebrew patriarch, by today's definition, would be a Sumerian.
All right. Powerful, brother. Powerful information here. This is why I always say that you are one of my top Hebrew scholars that's here.